G'day, JD here. How are you? John Dwyer is my name, and I own a business called the Institute of Wow.com, and it's all about showing business owners how to get more clients. And the reason I'm doing this Facebook live post is because I haven't done one for a day or two, and I'm suffering from pangs of anxiety. And I guess what client, brand new client, and they are in the services industry. It's something to do with electricity, let's say. And when I was talking to them, I said, well, can you give me a copy of your current marketing plan? And they said, JD, we don't have one. By the way, if you want to know my business, it's called the Institute of Wow.com, okay? And so I said to them sarcastically, without a plan, how do you know where you're going? Because surely it'd be like, driving at night time in your motor car without the headlights on. And just about 9 out of 10 businesses that come into my world say that. They say, JD, yeah, we don't have a marketing plan. And the irony is that if I ask them the question, and if you happen to be a business owner and I ask you the question, do you think having sales or marketing skills or knowing sales or marketing skills is pretty important in business, probably the most important thing? You'd probably say yes. And yet you've probably got an accountant and you more than likely would have a solicitor, but there's every chance in the world that you don't have anyone advising you on marketing. And yet I'm sure that you would admit that marketing and sales skills is the most important thing, because if you don't make any sales, you don't need an accountant or solicitor. It's pretty freaky to me. I know that I'm biased. I don't know why I'm leaning like that, by the way, but anyway, I know that I'm a little biased because of what my business does, providing advice on marketing and sales, but the fact is that it's just crazy. I believe that the statistics, I think in the last 3 or 4 years, the stats are that in Australia, England and America, 51% of businesses that open this year will be gone within 3 years. That's a stunning statistic. And I'm not sure that it's because they don't have a good product. They've probably got a good product, most of them, or good service. It's because they don't know how to market themselves. They just don't know how to sell. And it brings me to this, well, it's a segue that brings me to showing you this big book of mine, okay, or this big system of mine. It's called the Wow Manifesto, and it's how to put together a marketing plan. And if I open up this big book and show off, you'll see here that it's essentially a guide for putting together a marketing plan that sells. A marketing plan which is a direct response marketing plan. And what I've done is that I've turned this into an online program, and you can actually have a look at this. You don't have to buy anything. It's a 21-minute, I think 22-minute video of me explaining to you how to put together a marketing plan and the components in that marketing plan that you should consider. There's 11 components. Don't worry, I'm not going to go through them now and bore you shitless, but the fact is there's 11 components in this plan. And you may use all of them, you may use 4 or 5 of them, you may use 8 or 9 of them. The sort of things that I do suggest you do when you're putting together a marketing plan is start at the very start and identify your most profitable customer or your most profitable prospect. And then secondly, look for more people who look like him. Simple as that. Crazy part about it is that in this laser targeted world that we live in, the online world, where you can actually zero in on whoever you want, particularly with the like, people are still spraying bullets in the air. There are still businesses out there that are advertising on the side of a bus. What are they smoking? Advertising on the back of a taxi. What are they smoking? Advertising on the electronic signs that go around the football games of a weekend. There are tens of millions by a so-called advertising expert to get people to fall in love with their brand so that they will eventually taste their product. Well, if you're a medium-sized business or a small-sized business, you can't afford to piss money up against the wall like that by sponsoring the Brisbane Broncos football team, or by putting ads on the side of the fences at the football, or putting ads on the side of buses. So that conventional wisdom of getting people to fall in love with your product so that they'll, getting people to fall in love with your brand so that they'll taste your product, we teach you in this particular 22-minute video with your brand. So what you want is that you want people to taste your product, to fall in love with your brand. And the best example of silliness would be the butcher, the local butcher in town sponsoring the local little netball team or rugby league team with the name of his butcher on the back of their jerseys and his phone number. Okay, Fred's Butchery, great meats, phone blah blah blah, or www. whatever. I have 6 children and they're adults these days, but many years ago my wife and myself would be every Saturday morning in front of the netball team or in front of the football or soccer team, And I don't think I saw one parent there taking down the number of the little local supermarket that was sponsoring the team. So my view is that butcher shop would be much better served if they actually had a sausage sizzle outside their butcher shop and handed out sausages, so that when people tasted them, they then thought, I might go inside, that's nice, I might go inside and see what else the butcher's got to sell. Strategy in terms of client attraction than just sponsoring the local little netball or soccer team, okay? Because I think you'd probably find that is following the mantra, get them to taste my product so that they'll fall in love with the brand. So if you'd like to know how to put together, starts with that particular mantra in mind, and that is identifying your most profitable customer and then looking for more. Click the link above. It's an easy watch. It's 22 minutes. You'll see it's wowmanifesto.com, and I go through the 11 points. By the way, one of those points too is identifying, well, after you've identified your most profitable audience and look for more people who look like them, a big part is a wow factor. If you don't have a wow factor in your product, and most people don't because they're selling a product which can be duplicated by all sorts of competitors, then you might like to think of an artificial wow factor. So McDonald's hamburger, so they came up with a Happy Meal toy inside the Happy Meal box. That's their artificial wow factor. Harvey Norman came up with 2 years interest free. Now that's an artificial wow factor. Kellogg's Cornflakes have got a toy in the bottom of the box for the last 5 decades. That's their artificial wow factor. So therefore, if you don't have a product that's unique, then you might like to think of an artificial wow factor. And more recently here in Australia, the big supermarket chains have taken a leaf out of my book, and Woolworths and Coles have had children's collectibles. I'm being a bit sexist there, but most of the supermarket shopping is done by women. But just to make men feel comfortable, dads or granddads as well. What they've done is that they've actually incentivized all of us to go into Woolworths and spend money at Woolworths or Coles because we got a little Disney collectible. And then you saved up those collectibles to have the whole set. That's the sort of wow factor that you might like to think about. Now, you know, the game that I've been in, I've been engaged by some of the biggest companies in Australia, your News Limiteds, your Channel 9s, your 7-Elevens, your big shopping malls like Westfield, Blockbuster when videos were around, to devise these artificial wow factors to get people into a repetitive spending pattern to come back and back and back. And of course, over the years, I guess I had the tag as being the sales promotional king with all that sort of stuff. And even the newspapers got me to actually put all the scratch bingos together for them. I was sort of a secret weapon for News Limited and a lot of these big companies, whereby if they had flagging circulation or flagging sales, they'd bring me in to create what we call an avalanche sales promotion that would lift sales or lift circulation of the newspaper or magazine pretty quickly. And if you'd like to know how to do that for your business, absolutely free, then just click the link above. A 22-minute video. It's wowmanifesto.com, and it will take you through what you should be considering as components of putting together a marketing plan. But keep in mind, it's very, very different from a normal advertising agency marketing plan where they'll tell you to sponsor the Olympics and to get your name out there on the side of buses. This marketing plan will be all about direct response, which is all about measurable advertising. And don't be surprised that there's a big, big component of what you'll be watching in that 22-minute video above that has to do with online social media marketing, okay? So therefore there's a big component on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube and all that sort of stuff, because they are, I mean they as in those social media platforms, an absolute juggernaut if you get it right. This Facebook Live thing, by the way, if you're not doing that, get onto it as quickly as you can, and you'll learn how to do that by watching that 22-minute video above. That's about it, guys. I'm going to say goodbye and have a good rest of Tuesday. This finger's about to say goodbye.